to Helen Vella, which with Vella Coaching Strategies, a business and lifestyle coach who trains executives and companies in communication styles, positive cultures, networking, and so much more. She specializes in transformation and mindset as it pertains to reaching your goals and changing your lifestyle. She also helps people who have suffered from domestic violence and abuse. Thank you, Helen, so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your time, and I'm looking so forward to talking with you today. We're going to talk about the doomed 2020, the year from hell.
The dreaded year, yes, the dreaded year.
The dreaded year.
You remember it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we're not, some of us are never going to forget it, and some of us can't wait to forget it,
Exactly.
And the year has flown by so fast. Here it is October, and we've wondered where the heck has the rest of the year gone? And we've been working from home, or some of us are at home not working and waiting when we're going to go back to work again. And I'd really like to talk to you today about what you've seen in your coaching with your corporations, your companies, and your individuals, through this COVID pandemic. And what are the things that that you're either bringing to the table, or the things that you see that are new and different in your coaching?
Well, mostly my clientele are small business, right? So not much in the corporate world, although my individual clients may work in the corporate world. But what I found is that at the beginning of the year, it was, okay, it's a couple of weeks vacation, we'll get over it type of thing. However, as time's gone on and people have been furloughed and they were in limbo, what am I going to do? Well, I'm furloughed, I'm getting money, I've got a job, I haven't got a job, what shall I do, all this sort of thing. So as time's gone on, with the small business people, it's been, how can I change my model to suit the virtual world? Mm-hmm. How can I change my model to the outside world? And then depending on what part of the country you live in, the outside world means a different thing to different people. Because like now in Florida, the outside world is fine, but in New York, it probably isn't. So it just depends on where you are as to how your models. So what I've discovered is that I've helped people change the model around to relook at their businesses to see how they can remodel it. The thing that's stopping people from moving forward is the fear. There's so much fear. There's anxiety, there's uncertainty, there's isolation, there's anger. There's all those emotions that are going on for lots of different reasons, like you can't see your relatives, you can't go to weddings, you can't go to funerals, you can't go to celebrations. There's lots and lots of things going on where, even if you're like, I've got a friend who has got a father in an assisted living with Alzheimer's. Well, she hasn't seen him since March.
Oh my gosh.
So, because you're not allowed to face, but she sees him over video and FaceTime and things. But when you've got Alzheimer's, the one thing you do with family members is you're there all the time to keep reminding them.
Right.
The longer it goes on. So there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of isolation, and trying to adjust to life without human contact. And human beings are not meant for non-human.
It's not healthy.
No, because we're pack animals. We
yes.
And
I've said this since the beginning of the isolation and quarantine. We're not a being that is accustomed to. We're not built for that. That's not a thing for us. It's not a normal thing.
However, we have transposed to that, because when life began, we lived in villages and everybody lived together, right? And then as societies move forward over the generations, we have isolated the families and we don't live as villages anymore. So for some people it's easier, but you're still in isolation. And one of the things that is a strong thing that I tell everybody, so if you take anything away from this today, this is the one thing I want you to take away. You've got to stop using the word isolation. You've got to stop using the word quarantine. You've got to stop using all the words that you're not conducive to your emotional state. So you have to change your words to, I'm safe at home. I'm rebuilding my business. I'm reconnecting with my family. I'm learning new skills. I'm learning a new language. I'm learning something else. You know, the people that are trying to balance the virtual work, the online school, and the relationship, that's a whole different ball game again. And again, there's strategies for all of that, because you mentioned about domestic violence and things like that. That's gone up because, and also child abuse, because the one respite that people got was either going to work or going to school. Now they don't do either.
They don't have that reprieve.
No, so they're with their abuser all the time. So abuse has gone up, but being able to contact someone about the abuse is not there either, because you're there all the time with your abuser. So there isn't that, let me go to the office and hand someone a note and tell them to call the cops. You know, there's no way to contact someone else away from your abuser. So there's lots of mindset that you have to adjust to depending on what lifestyle you're living and what business you have also.
Can I address that?
Yes, I was going to say, all that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it's troubling to me. And I hope it's troubling to a lot of people out there. I want to get to an answer. So for those people who are in an abusive situation and are stuck at home, what is the answer for them getting help? There has got to be a way. I mean, a text, a
Yes.
Zoom call, a message, you know, an SOS on a Zoom call, something.
Yes, there are. I'm sure you've gone into the ladies' rooms before we were closed down, into bars where behind the door
Yes.
in the ladies' room, and you ask for an angel drink, right? And then the server knows what to do. You can do the same thing. You can ask your girlfriends to say something like, you know the candles that you make? I want to order a couple of candles. You know, you can set up a code. Your girlfriend doesn't sell candles. She doesn't make candles. But she knows that's your distress code. So yes, you can set different things up the same way as we have it set up when we go to bars and restaurants and things like that, where some of the restaurants have got that availability where you go and ask for a double angel shot or something, and then they're called cops type of thing. There was one woman who managed to get away from her abuser by feigning the dog was sick and took the dog to the vet. And although her abuser was with her, she managed to be able to get a note to one of the people.
I think I read about that story.
Yeah, so there are ways around it, but the big thing right now is, and it's mainly to do with candles, you know, the candle, the red candle, the blue candle, whatever, and then it gives you the levels of alert for that person to do something.
So where do we learn, for the people out there who are not familiar with the candle thing, because this is the first I've heard of it, how do we learn about the candles?
Well, it's something you would set up with your girlfriend. So, for example, if I contacted you and sent you a text going, hey, Linda, you know those red roses that you make, right, okay? You're going to go, what the hell's she talking about? I don't make red roses.
Right.
But you know I'm in an abusive relationship, okay? You're going to go, hang on, this is a code, right, okay? And then you can say, do you want to buy one now or do you want to buy it later? Right? So now it's urgent. Later is but be on standby or something.
Okay.
So you can develop. I just use candles because someone I know uses candles.
Okay.
You can develop between your girlfriends or something like that your own code, whereby you can have that. If you're being monitored by your texts or your phone calls or your Zoom calls, that they're not going to be able to figure out what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that it's just setting up a code between you and your whoever you trust type of thing.
Yes. I like the universal with the bars, the angel drink. It'd be nice if there was a
Right.
universal code.
I need to find out, because candles actually might be the thing. I need to research it and find out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I did
And I'll post it on the website as well.
I did see a few things about candles. Let me figure that one out.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay.
So let's talk about the ups and downs and all arounds of 2020. And the, aside from the abuse situation, because to me that's about as big as it can be. Are there other situations that you see coming up more prevalent, either with, we can talk about businesses and companies and individuals. As far as the companies, how have you been able to help them pivot? Can you give us an example of one company that you've been able to help?
Yeah. Again, it's using the right words, okay?
Yeah.
So pivot seems to be the in word, which drives me crazy.
I know. I'd like to find a new word too.
Yeah, but also you're getting back to normal. That's also another thing you should eliminate from your vocabulary. So it's looking at, give me an example. Okay, I've got so many. Let me run through my clients. So it's modeling, so retail store, and it closed. Okay, couldn't open. So what we did was we set up that she could do like an online store, right? So first of all, it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Plus I've got 3-year-old twins that usually are in daycare. Now what am I doing? So what we arranged was she had an online store. She did a Facebook page, Instagram page. And then she did some videos of her, it was perfumes, videos of her perfumes and all this sort of thing. And then what she did was either pick up at an appointment at the store or mail or delivery. Okay?
Great.
So it's looking at what you have and how am I going to make
accommodate.
It work?
Yeah.
Yes. Instead of the fear thing, oh my God, my store's closed down, now what? All right. It's like, okay, how am I going to do this? And the same with my business as well, where people would want to come and see me, and I've always been 80% virtual anyway, but the 20% that would, no, I can only see you in person. Okay. Now it's, no, you have to see me virtually.
Right.
And no, it can still work virtually. It's exactly the same thing. So it's looking at what you have and then what is this model I can do. So like even with your t-shirts, your hats, things like that, it's okay, I can't go and do an expo, I can't meet the masses that way. So how else can I do it? Okay, I can have a virtual event. I can invite people to a webinar and I can invite them to this virtual event. I can still have my wares, show them all my wares and all this sort of thing. And then there's still a way to take a Venmo, a Cash App, a Zelle at the same time. There are ways around all of it. So it's remodeling as opposed to pivot, right? It's looking at your model, your business model, and re-looking at it. And it's the same with at home. Looking at the model you're using at home and remodeling that. And a lot of it means physical remodel of the home, right? One of my clients, he has converted his garage. He's got 4 children, and the kids have half of the garage, and he has the other half of the garage, right? Because the kids are virtual school.
For our American-speaking people, she's saying garage.
Yes, one of those, exactly. Yeah. So he's done that. So they share the space in the school and his office, which he's converted.
Smart.
Okay? Because most homes don't cater for a home school or a home office.
Right.
So you either decide long term, okay, we need to move to get an office, or you remodel the home, or you remodel the garage, or whatever.
Right.
So it's looking at okay, I've lost tons of weight. I've got a closet full of designer clothes. Do I throw them out or do I alter them to fit? Right. So you're altering your lifestyle and your business model to fit what's going on right now.
Right.
And if you can't see a way to do that, then that's where you get a coach and someone to help you to be able to do that.
And I'm going back to my notes because I really liked what you said about stop using the word isolation and quarantine,
Yes.
and use safe at home. I work from home, and so when I can get out, I like to go out. I'd rather be out and about. I don't feel safer at home. I feel like I would go crazy if I was at home all the time. I'm already at home enough. Rebuilding my business and reconnecting with my family. That's one thing that I did see at a strong point. People started eating at the kitchen table again.
Yes.
And I was raised that way, and I still eat at home, most of the time. I would say, 70, 80% of the time I'm eating at home and sitting at the table. My husband and I cook, and that's where we eat. And when we're with the family, we don't necessarily go out to dinner all the time. I cook a home-cooked meal, or we cook a home-cooked meal, and we're around the kitchen table. But there are a lot of families that are doing this for the first time in forever. And so this has been, I have seen some positive things come out of COVID.
Absolutely. Yes. I've seen so many positive. Look at you. My daughter, I love the fact that there are so many young people that were furloughed in the marketing and the entertainment business and the exhibition business that have started their own businesses.
Yes.
It's beautiful to see. It's good.
It is.
My did it. You did it. Several of my clients have done it.
That's great.
It's looking to see, and also the people that really changed their model overnight, where they saw a niche like the face masks, like the PPE equipment,
Right.
Like, the signs that you have to do, and all of the printers went overnight.
They did.
And redid their business.
Do you think face masks are here to stay?
I would say they're here for quite some time, yes.
Yeah.
Because people are going to, the people that feel comfortable with them are going to wear them longer. And we're coming up to the winter time, and allegedly it's going to get worse. And I know my daughter lives in London, and I have all my relatives lives in the UK. And, they're starting to close down certain parts again.
Really?
And really,
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
But they're not doing it the same way. They're looking at the model, okay? So we've got a hot spot over here. Let's look at this hot spot. What can we do with this hot spot?
Good.
While at a hot spot, you're good to go.
Good.
Right? You can still do. So they're not shutting things, the knee-jerk reaction we had before of shutting everything down. It's okay, and it's the same with your business. You don't have to shut things down. You don't have to stop doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
But the virtual networking world has opened up like you can't believe.
It has. It
and
has.
Most people's businesses should be booming if they're using the virtual networking effectively.
Right.
Because that's here to stay, for sure.
I believe it is. And in my last show, we talked about trade shows and events, and how we need to get those back in the running. Let's get them moving, let's get them going. And the one thing that we did address is that the hybrid event is probably going to be a long-term thing. That we have to address every level of safety and concern that's out there. And some people are going to feel safe and good about going to a physical event, a face-to-face event, and there are going to be others who say, I'm fine, I'll watch it virtually. I'm not going to, I don't really want to be part of that face-to-face thing for whatever reason it is, whether it's health concerns or just they'd rather be at home.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter. It's none of our business why, but the hybrid event is, I believe, going to be a huge dynamic in the future, and I'm gonna totally change subjects here. We were gonna go back, and I wanted to talk about teeter-tottering mindsets. And it kind of like segued in from the London thing where they were, they're handling the closing in a different way. What else is happening with the teeter-tottering mindsets in 2020?
Well, it's sort of balancing the safety with the necessity. So
Safety with the
necessity.
necessity. Okay.
So you have to evaluate what is going on. So if like for example, the kids have got to go to school regardless. Okay, they've got to learn, right? So if you are one of if you want to have your children at home and you're going to school them at home because it's a necessity, they have to be schooled.
Right.
However, is it safe, in your opinion, for them to go to school face to face? Again, a hybrid model. I mean, that's what they're doing in London. They've got the hybrid model over there. I spoke to my grandkids on Sunday, and they've just gone, well, no, they changed it. They were waiting to hear what was happening on Monday. But they were doing a bit of both. Right,
Okay.
And depending on the age group, it's okay. But the younger ones, it's more of a challenge because their learning process is touching, feeling, sharing, and
They're missing out on so much virtually, in my opinion.
Exploring, yes,
Yes.
exactly. So babies that have been born in 2020 are going to develop in a completely different way than babies that weren't born in 2020.
I totally agree.
Nothing wrong with it. However, because I have a couple of clients that just had babies, we're going through this. Nothing wrong with it. They'll catch up. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Rest
how
assured.
Yes, it's just how, and that's the teeter-totter thing. It's
Yes.
like, oh my God, I've had a baby. The baby needs to see the relatives. No, they don't need to see the relatives because they don't want my baby getting sick. Right? Okay.
Right.
So what can I do to? So you have to be able to balance
Right.
what you think is, and if you want to do the family gathering and you want to have the baby in and around, there are ways to do that also. You know, you can meet outside, you can meet in a park, you can be socially distant.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
There are healthy and safe ways to go about doing this.
Everything.
Yes.
And you look at the model and then you look, how can I remodel it? How
Exactly.
can I make it fit to where I want to be? And that's where the mindset comes in, where people have got mindsets of, I don't want to even think about the model. I'm just in fear. I'm in anger. I don't know what to do. I'm in fight or flight.
Yes.
So I can't think objectively. And that's where you get the challenges. And that's the biggest issue, is the people that are in fight or flight.
Right. And we're going to have to wrap it up this session, but I want to have you back on again so we can talk about specifics about fight or flight. And it will help people when they're in that situation. Okay, how do I deal with this? Fight or flight, what am I going to do and how am I going to do it? And I would love to have you back on the show and talk about that. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, and I can give you practical strategies of actual things to do and give you that, and then the audience can do that there and then.
Fantastic. I would look forward to doing that really soon. Before you go, I'll be sending you, I want you to go on my website and check it out, Helen, so you can pick out your favorite color. Women Have Needs 2 shirt. And
I love it.
Good. You like this one?
No, yellow's not my color.
Okay. Well, I want you to pick out your color.
Doesn't go with white.
Oh, I love it. Well, I can send you a black hat.
Absolutely, for sure. Yes.
Yes.
I love
Well,
that.
thank you so much for being here today, Helen. You are a gem, and I know you've helped a lot of people and a lot of companies through these trying times. And I look forward to having you back on, and we're going to get into some down and dirty specifics on how we can handle the fight or flight. And thank you, audience. Women Have Needs too. Right now, we need to learn how to fight or flight and figure that out and get on with our lives. And we'll see you soon. Please visit the website, womenhaveneeds2.com, and 10% of all proceeds go to the organization called Created to help fight human trafficking. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.